Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This is going to be a divine feminine check-in. And before we get into it, I just wanted to do a little presence practice of calling our spirit back to this moment and taking just a second to ground. Excuse me. Let's ground in our bodies. Let's feel the weight sinking back into our seat. Or if you're standing, the earth under our feet. Let's bring any awareness to any discomfort in the body, honoring what that discomfort is, surrendering, and letting it go. Let's prepare ourselves to receive these messages, knowing at each moment that we are sovereign and we can release whatever discomfort arises, and we can choose what resonates and release what doesn't. Okay, let's come back into our bodies. And when you're ready, we will get into it. And if you need a few more moments, you can pause the reading. Take as much time as you need. Okay, so this is a Divine Feminine check-in. And we're getting some messages mirroring from yesterday's reading. Yesterday's reading, a big message for the Divine Feminines was that this is not a time of taking action. We have this keep going card in reverse, right? This is not a time to push through. This is a time to ground and be present with the work that's arriving in your mind, body, heart, soul right now in the present moment. Excuse me, I cannot clear my throat, which is another mirroring of yesterday. We have the Speak Your Truth card in reverse, right? Something came up yesterday around a blocked throat chakra, and I'm actually, as I'm saying this, I'm having trouble swallowing. Okay, feminines, let's take a moment to honor how difficult it has been to speak your truth, to own your truth, to find your truth, to discover your truth. It's really easy to say what's wrong, right? It's really easy to identify what's wrong with a person, place, or a thing, or ourselves, right? It's so super easy. It's much harder to bring loving awareness and kindness and forgiveness and curiosity to the parts of self that experienced these things that put you in a position not to be able to speak your truth. One of my mentors, James Finley, has this wonderful quote, and I'm probably going to botch it, but it goes something like, our job on this mystical path is not to do violence against our fragility in the waiting. So much of this path can feel like we're in the waiting rooms of our lives, right? Can feel like we're always somewhere, but not where we're supposed to be, not where we want to be. And again, that is something that is part of the work, to be able to call our spirit back from places it doesn't belong and access the truth of the present moment. Can we just be here now without needing to be anywhere else, without needing to be in the past, without needing to worry about the future? Can we just bring all of our efforts to this moment and discover love here and now? Okay. All right, let's see what else is here. Okay, we have new beginnings in reverse, companionship, adventure, signs, peace, speak your truth, keep going in reverse. Isn't this interesting that the three reversals that we have, and they're kind of sandwiching and anchoring this reading. I didn't put these in a certain order. I put them as they came out. So we have speak your truth and new beginnings sandwiching this entire reading, anchored by this keep going card in reverse, right? What's grounding this entire reading is this act of being still, is this act of non-action. It's very much the Wu Wei path. If you don't know about Wu Wei, you can look it up, but it is the path of effortless action, or I'm going to say it wrong. Wait. Effortless non-action. You have to look it up, but it's the Wu Wei. It's this kind of, can you surrender to really the path that's unfolding in front of you, instead of penetrating life and grabbing the path and forcing the path and cutting and pasting the path how you think it should look like. Something here about anchoring in this surrender and honoring that your new beginning is on the other side of accessing your truth. These three things I'm picturing like a tripod. So we have new beginnings, we have eventually your future action, and your truth as this like tripod of surrendered action. It's this energy of flowing down the river, but consciously and intentionally, right? You can be open and grounded in receptivity and fully present without forcing. There's three other messages here. I'm going to wait to speak about them because they need a little bit more. It's like an outline and it needs to be colored in a little bit. So let's keep going. Just wanted to name that in the unconscious position, we have create your own reality. Okay, feminines. So let's honor that what's being pushed into the shadow right now is maybe the belief that you can create your own reality. So let's honor any sort of feelings of powerlessness, of fear, of despair, of sorrow that may be pushed into the unconscious right now. Let's put a pin in this. We're going to watch this as the narrative unfolds. What's the loudest message for me right now is this throat chakra. So let's see what's blocking the throat chakra. Okay, we have heart, what does it say? Heartache and loss and destiny. Okay. Feminines, there's some of you that have been allowing the pain of the past to rob you of your destiny. It's the visual I'm getting is that there's a path right here in front of you, and yet all of your pain and heartbreak is forcing you to only look over there. I never know if I'm on camera or not with my hands, so I apologize. But, it's like the path is right here. Let's use this card because, right, there's this beautiful yellow brick road, this cosmic yellow brick road right to source, right? This awareness, right? This road may not be an actual physical person, place, or thing, but this may be a journey inward to the capital S self, to the higher self. Yeah, so call your spirit back. No, hold on. Let's get more. What else do we need to know about what's blocking truth or what would support feminines? I mean, I'm not making this up. You saw it on camera. Yes, we have a blocked throat chakra. Spirit, tell us something we don't know. Financial and material changes. Okay, feminines, is there a truth you're avoiding about your root chakra, your stability, your feelings of safety in the world, your financial wellness? Is there something in your home life that is unstable? Is there something that has been, boiling under the surface that needs to change? Do you hear my voice cracking a lot today? This is the beginnings of a snowball. I don't know if you guys can feel it in the energy, but now that we're kind of coloring in the outline, this message is getting more and more full bodied. And so it feels really intense. If I were to name a chakra, I would say we're working in the third and second chakras, the solar plexus and the sacral. I can feel it in my stomach is churning right now. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Okay. Positive movement forward. Positive movement forward. We have, how am I doing this? Heart chakra. It's always interesting to me when I name chakras and other chakras come out. So what that says to me is that they are a solution, or they are a map on where to do the work. So remember, just like, most conventional medicine will just treat the symptom, right? You go to the doctor, you have a problem. They're like, oh, you have high cholesterol? Here, take this pill, take this whatever. Whereas other modalities of naturopathic medicine might say, okay, you have high cholesterol. What is this a symptom of? Let's trace it back to the core, to the source, right? And so although we're working with the throat chakra, we're working with our confidence and our creativity and sensual sexuality, there's something here about returning to the heart chakra, allowing the truth of your heart's deepest desires, your deepest wounding, to come out so that you can identify and understand what changes need to happen for you to access this positive movement forward, right? When we are in the trenches of self, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to choose positive movement forward today. It doesn't, you could do whatever you want. You are all sovereign beings, but it doesn't always hold the weight of change. And what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it doesn't always affect change. We have to actually imprana these things. We actually have to invest our life force in the difficult thing to overcome it and move through it, to be able to become the person that can do these things, right? All right, let's see what else. Yeah, we have a discernment card. Choosing wisely. Recognition and reward. Movement. Another discernment card. Okay. Spirit, say more. Say more, please. Thank you. All right. What's interesting is harmony. This Lover's card just came out under companionship. And we have authority, and we have, what does this say? Material and spiritual prosperity. Okay, this is the second card about material things. And so, and this is my sovereignty card. I'm just going to cover these up so we can just see everything. Feminines, you are learning to step into your own companionship. You are learning to step into your own inner authority. You are learning to value your truth, your heart's deepest truth, whether that's pain, pleasure, desire, fear, whatever that is, by stepping into that embodiment of your truth. And I want to stress this, feminines. It doesn't matter what your truth is. I'm not saying this in a way where like your truth has to be this profound, positive thing. Your truth might be that you're absolutely wrecked with grief and heartbreak. And pain and sorrow and suffering. By stepping into the authority and owning that, you come into this, let me say it this way, you create a harmonious, hospitable home for these parts to work out these particular blocks, these particular dense energies. By stepping into this inner authority and owning what you feel, owning your authentic expression of what's actually present for you, what's been buried under the surface, what has been deeply desiring to breathe all of these years, right? We're talking about the throat chakra. We're talking about breath, right? It is where we sip the universe. I'm going to just put this right side up so we could really look at it. For some of you, breath work, I used to bring this up a few months ago. The breath work kept coming up. Now it's making me want to use this deck to see if it comes out. My Earth Magic deck. But if you see, she's sipping the universe and all these beautiful spirals, which is for me the symbol of transformation. And then we have these butterflies, symbols of metamorphosis and change. Feminines, when you step into your inner authority and take accountability for setting the stage so that your parts feel safe to come forward, so that your parts feel safe to speak their authentic truth, to express how they desire, no matter what it looks like. This is when movement will happen. This is when discernment, aligned discernment, will arrive. You know, I'm going to continue to talk about my week off. I don't know if you've been listening to me, but I had a forced time off. And so part of that time was reminding me how to come into relationship with my intuition. I was getting reacquainted with my intuitive voice because I got in the crappy pattern. Yeah, we have grounding. I got in the crappy pattern of overriding that voice. And it's like a snowball, right? You just ignore one little thing and then sooner or later you're ignoring the big things. And then in order to get my attention, my body had to actually shut down. And that was not a pleasant experience. And yet it was completely necessary. Yeah, we have solitude. Let's take these. I can't read. Let's see. We have release, generations, ancestors, and volatility, but they were all in the reverse. Feminines, you are such a sacred kaleidoscope of power, of love, of memory. You are a, pristine vessel to do this work, to hold your ancestral lineage in your womb space, in your hearts, in your bodies. And so part of what might be going on right now is that you're learning how to identify and discern what is yours from this lifetime and what is from previous generations, what is from your ancestral lineage. You are learning how to, so these are all in reverse. So let's just be direct about it. Hold on. Okay. Feminines, some of you, there is an attachment to your ancestral narratives. There's something here that it doesn't feel like it's, let's see what's in the unconscious. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to put this here on my little Mama Gaia. All right. Okay. Sorry. The energy is very thick. All right, feminines, I have to call you out, and, you know, I'm included in this. You are being called to individuate from your ancestral stories. Remember, they don't all have to be traumatic, right? I think when we think of ancestral stuff, we think of the trauma and the pain and the hardship and all of the crap that our ancestors had to overcome to get here and get us here and, whatever. But the message in this is that you're actually also being called to individuate from every narrative, from positive or negative. I don't like to say positive or negative. I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but I like to say from the dense or less dense energies. And I'm not saying to abandon your heritage or to abandon any kind of thing, but in order to go on your hero's journey of individuation and discover who you are, who you're meant to be in this life, what your mission and purpose is to move the collective forward, you have to, or I don't want to say you have to, but you're being invited to individuate from these things that keep you tethered to this way of life, to this level of consciousness. It's interesting to me that the hero's journey has come up a bunch in the last couple days. Let me see what else. Yeah. The other message here, feminines, is you're being asked to come into union with your ancestral whatever lineage in a new way, in a way that may not be what has been passed down through generations. So that's another little message here. Let's just get some of these really quick. Anything else for feminines? Anything else for feminines? And also, feminines, do you feel the rhythm and the pace of this reading? It's much slower. There's much more silence involved. Yeah, we have wisdom. Put it right under authority. You are becoming the wise sovereigns of your truth. And that takes time. We have heartfelt apology in reverse. And we have creativity in reverse. This is another second chakra card. And we have calm that came out sideways. I'll just leave it there. Oh, feminines. Okay. Very specific message here. For some of you, there's been a narrative in your ancestral line that has been... Okay, I want to say this with grace and tact. Sorry, it's going right to my head and my third eye. Hold on. Energy needs to dissipate a little bit. Okay, for some of you feminines, your ancestors have been gravely wronged in some way. Your ancestors may have been the victims of profound, heinous crimes against humanity. This is not a light reading. This is dense. And I just want to honor this and how intense and like the longitude and latitude of the effect of this ancestral pain is vast. And so now the message is, the whole entire reading is making more sense to me. So you're being called to individuate from the victimhood of this experience that your ancestors had. And we have this heartfelt apology in reverse. So there's something about your entire group, your entire line has been holding the angst of waiting for that sincere apology that may or may not ever come. And so you're here to stop the line. You are here to individuate from this pain, from the victim mentality. And I don't say that lightly. I honor how atrocious these things could have been. You know, like mass genocide is coming up for some of you. It's here. I have to name it. It's showing up. And so we can honor, this is just a life lesson as well. We can honor the atrocious things that people, places, or things have done to us. And we can also honor how that can be a gift. What awareness is arising because of this horrible pain? Can we love even harder in the face of this deep, deep violation of the spirit? Can we expand our love to hold even, this one's a hard one, bear with me. Can we expand our hearts to hold love for the most atrocious, the most violent, aggressive perpetrators? Can we hold our center for love of self and other in this flavor of chaos? It's not easy. And by you practicing expanding your heart to extend to the most heinous creatures, in by no way is this enabling their behavior. In no way is this saying that what they did was okay. What it is doing is setting you and your ancestral line free. It's setting yourself free from this victim story. And this could be playing out deep, deep in the unconscious, right? It can come out as entitlement. It can come out as fragmentation. It can come out as deep unworthiness. Actually, Gabor Mate, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's an incredibly beautiful, soft, masculine energy who is a physician and does so much work with trauma. And he had a similar story where he was from a country that whatever was going on, whatever political insanity was going on, he got the message unconsciously or subconsciously or consciously as a very young child that he wasn't wanted. And so the way that showed up in his life growing up, he became hyper successful. Like his success became a trauma response because he felt unworthy from this political hardship his people or his country went through. So it's a really important story here, feminines, because we have to remember that even something that appears to be wonderful and helpful and successful can also be a trauma response. And so I forget what message it was here that I said that you're being even called to individuate from the positive aspects of this ancestral thing. Not because you're turning your back on your ancestors, but you're turning toward yourself. You're turning towards the truth of the self. And by taking enough space, by creating boundaries around this sacred work so that you can step deeper into this sacred work, this is how you strengthen your throat. This is how you strengthen your truth, your authentic self-expression. Ooh, okay, I just looked down. What's really interesting is in the unconscious, we have the mother card. Okay, this message is getting full bodied. Did you witness how the snowball was rolling with these messages? And now we have this really robust, full bodied picture here. So feminines, what about motherhood, your mother, matriarchal lineage, are you pushing into the shadows? What is something that has always just been kind of there or lurking in the shadows that feels resonant about what we're talking about? What is your relationship to your mother, to a mother, to motherhood? Are you being called to step into the role as the inner mother to parent these parts of self that are wounded, to step into this autonomy and sovereignty, to step into radical responsibility so that you can take accountability? Listen, this is a puzzle piece, okay? This is a key piece to the puzzle. Without it, you can't access your full spectrum of your truth. You can't do the work that you came here to do without including whatever this is for you in your work. Woo! Feminines, holy crap. Okay, let's get some, I'm going to get some inner child cards super quick. Anything else for inner feminine? This is a really sacred, sacred message. And I know I said it briefly, but a big message that feels valid here is stepping into the role as the inner mother so that you can parent these parts of self that are desperately craving some attention, to become your own companion, to become your own beloved, to step into this inner harmony, this inner union. All right, what do we got? We have get lost, fall deep into the realm. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to read it like get lost, but you're being invited to get lost and fall deep into the realm of imagination. And this was in the reverse. Become aware, listen to the wisdom of my body. That was also in reverse. And then we have a time to remember, look back on your childhood, right? This is an alignment. We're going back and taking inventory of what happened. What was the landscape that we were raised in? What are we being called? Here's the thing, feminines, to be able to individuate from something, we have to know what it is, right? So this taking inventory of our childhood is very important. And then we have, you are enough. You do not have to give more. Yes, feminines, you are stepping into this inner authority, and part of that authority means that you have supreme aligned discernment over who and what you're giving to, over your resources. It's like if you have a room of inventory, you know how to allocate those resources appropriately so that you can live sustainably in this world. You are enough. You do not have to give more to people, places, and things that are not in alignment, that drain your spirit, that you do not feel safe to speak your truth in. Whew. What a reading, feminines. Let's end on some Buddha wisdom. Emptiness is the absolute reality, the source and support of all things, right? This is accessing void space. And then we have the force of the flowing river causes the flowers, the herbs, and trees to grow. The sacred wisdom in your heart has magical power for your spiritual growth. In the unconscious, we have act according to the true nature of the circumstances. Remove any self-importance agenda. This card is calling you to higher, I'm going to put this right here. This is calling you to higher discernment, to letting go of any egoic attachments, right? Any perceptions. I said this yesterday. What perceptions are you plugged into that no longer serve your heart's deepest truth and your heart's deepest work? Everyone go drink some water, ground. This was an intense reading. Sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for being here.